Alright, so Bizzo went and got himself this little gem. EB Fairmont gear, and it turns out it has a really good interior. Well, I've already started but yeah, it's got the early EA style pattern on the seats because it's an early EB, so same colour dash and everything is the EA. So we're going to steal the centre console. Maybe the carpet is pretty grotty, but definitely the seats. The front seats are over here. I'll give you a look at them. Pretty good condition for their age. Well, you haven't seen this one on the channel yet. We'll do something on it later. So yeah, we'll replace these. If anybody's had an E-Series, especially EA, B, ED, they know those seats there. They'll put you in hospital eventually. They'll poke you with wire. They're uncomfortable. Base is, look, this carpet's much worse than the other one.
You're lying.
He's trying to convince me that the carpet's better than the other one, but it's not. Big stain there. Yeah, and this one's got some where you put a diff in there or something. But yeah, the EAs had the darker coloured interior, which was kind of cool. The change in the later EBs and EDs, they had the light blue sort of colour, which looks cheap and nasty. But yeah, so we're going to swap the interior out because this is pretty skanky. It's not as skanky as the XD, which has what's the XD have? It has the King's Cross taxi interior. It's actually a really nice XD, and it has the most disgusting interior you've seen in a car. There we go, that's what we're up to. So we'll show you when it's all done. It'll look 100%. This dash is better too, mate. I reckon we go the whole hog. We'll just swap cars. It's got the original wheels. It doesn't have the spare though, unfortunately. It does have some cool shit in it though. It does have the original key for the glove box with the little build, record and dispatch. Yeah, it's got the original book. Originally from Ipswich, he reckons. It's got the blind, which we're going to steal as well, the Venetian in the back. We're going to paint it white, put it into the back of the EA as well, and then soon we'll get rid of this monstrosity and get the original front on. Probably an EB bonnet as well, or maybe we'll fill that one. Might weld and fill that one, see how we go, because it's pretty good bonnet. So how good is this? This is the interior out of the EA. Look at that, it's disgusting. I have to say though that this seat here, it didn't look like that until Rango borrowed it the other day. It was actually spotless. But that's not the best part. I've got to steal these as well, put them on the EA. Here's the best part. Look at this. Oh, look at this bloke. It took him 4 years to change that mirror, and now look at him. 4 years it's taken. It can't change that mirror.
Had to find the right one.
Look at that. It's an E-Series fanboy's wet dream right there. Look at mate, right over the door. It's polishing that mirror, it'll fall off. Look at that. We gave it a little bit of a clean. We'll come back and give it the 100%. Obviously the hood lining's not the best. What EA wouldn't have a hood lining that's hanging down. Look at that. But yeah, like I said, tomorrow I'll swap these out so we can use the ones up in that car. I'm trying to do some work here, mate. I'll just unbolt out of those doors, I'm guessing. We'll put those inserts in those doors because this has electric windows, and that fella has wind up, and that's a race car, so you don't want electric windows in a race car. But yeah, it's pretty good. A little over an hour to do that because we vacuumed the EA out, gave the other seats a clean. The EAs have different mirrors. A lot of people don't realise they're bigger. They're huge. So these ones are
like oars.
It's like they actually get a lot faster with the smaller mirrors on. That's the same EB, ED, and then the big ones, EA. So we've got an ED mirror on there off the other donor car, whatever you want to call that thing. But yeah, see there's the, we could have used these ones, but we stay with the car. I think Ranger's taking this car anyway. That's why we're stealing all the good parts out of it. He doesn't deserve it, really. Oh, look at this guy. New interior. This is the most love this car's seen in years, I think. Ranger washed it for the first time and the paint came off. Oh yeah, this one's Barra swapped as well. Just because he loves his Barras. So you just drop the old Barra in there, you don't have to do anything to it, just runs 12 just straight off. No turbo. Perfect.
Look at that. Alright, so update on the EL. Been a bit slack, had a bit going on. Doing some towing, sorting out my EA, trying to make it a bit better, a bit more comfortable, driving the patrol. But yeah, back into this. So, full 3.5 inch system, dim that muffler in there, and then we've come, I've never actually done this before, so this is a first for me. I'm not saying it's not doable, I'm just saying that I've never done it before. So 3.5 out of the muffler up, we flanged it up there. That flange isn't going to hit anything, and the nuts are actually welded on the top, so you can just get your rudder with your extension and undo those 3 bolts and the tailpipe comes out. That front section, 3 bolts up the front, 2 hangers, that section comes out easy as. This bit at the back here, it's not welded in yet, it's just sitting there so that because we've got all that movement in the flange there in case we need to tilt it more that way, or tilt it more this way, or up, down, left, right. Whichever way you want to go with it, it's just sitting there so we can do that. Hopefully it's just going to be a matter of another 45 there, sort of get us that way, and then a 45 into the bum of the muffler. Back to it, if your diff's sitting right up high, or it's going to sit at ride height, then you build your exhaust. You know where your car's going to sit. It can obviously go higher, it can go lower when you jack it up, but if it goes up, make sure it's not going to hit your exhaust, otherwise you get the knock, you know what I mean? So we've pretty much built this on the floor. There's barely a finger between there and there, and obviously we're going to move it around a bit and play with it, but if you build it on the floor, you've got your hanger, which can obviously, once the weight of the tailpipe and the rear muffler is sitting on that, it's going to pull it down. Even if it's 5mm, it's enough. But yeah, you got to think about your weights, you got to think about your hangers, you got to think about where you're building it. And it is 3.5. It's a big pipe putting over a diff of a car that had from factory 2.25 inch exhaust. So it's a bit of a mission. It's something that, yeah, it takes the time, and people don't understand that with a custom exhaust. It doesn't just fall together. And a lot of the options with these E-Series Falcons, they're not on shelf. You can't just ring up and say, hey, I want a 3 inch bloody or 3.5 inch exhaust to suit an EL Falcon with a factory BA turbo manifold and the thing, you know. A lot of it's got to be custom. So anyway, enough ranting. Today plan is get this 45 muffler, hang the muffler sort of solid in there, and then we'll build it out, get it to sit out. Yeah, hopefully finish the exhaust on that, or get it at least all welded out, and then I can send it away to get coated. And bring the car down, finish the top of it. I've got injectors to put in, I've got to do a battery location, get it all ready for Pete on the weekend to come and do some intercooler piping. But for now, I'll probably get this sort of mocked up, tacked up, and get it down on the ground. And once it's down on the ground, I'm about to load it out, I'll update you.
if he ever lowers it lower than full drive, it'll be good. This guy inspecting his work.
Pretty good.
That's the position you need to be in once you build a custom exhaust on the ground, in the fetal position.
Even that,
So what, the 3.5-inch mandrel bend's done to him?
even that lowest part of the pipe, get the old Coke can in there for sure. So unless he jumps this on a gutter. So we got the FG intercooler mounted. The bar hasn't been cut at all yet. I don't think we're going to need to cut it unless where I put the transcooler maybe behind this vent here. Might have to trim him up, try and get a bit more airflow for him. That all fits, well, it fits nice. I haven't bolted it up, but it fits nicely for now. Once Pete does his cooler pops, we'll know. So the radiator in, thermo fans in, everything there clears, everything's fine there. Finished the exhaust. We've got some video of that being made and all on. And yeah, apart from that, next step is injectors, top cover, get all that on, and finish up here. I've got to put a fuel pump in it, finish up power steering, tidy up all this, get rid of the battery tray. That's for Pete to do his cooler pipe and his intake in there, and a nice long pod filter there, intake, 4-inch intake for that. And plumb up all this, I guess. Move the battery to the boot, and then send it off to get wired. Maybe. Not having aircon. Took all the aircon out, all the condensers gone, all the lines are gone. Everything's gone out of it. I decided we weren't going to run aircon. What's going over here?
Well,
maybe the transmission cooler.
Maybe.
Oh, well, intake pipe will
Take up
be
most of
down
it.
there. ECU will be up in here. Get rid of the washer bottle, put a little remote one elsewhere, maybe down here. Mount the ECU up there like I did on the XH.